with no one but me and the Father. And I knew it was his voice. I don't know how, but I just knew. A portal opened up in my room while I was watching TVN that my mom used to put on while she would drink and smoke herself to sleep. My parents were in-home alcoholics. They just were a mess. But they were great parents, and that's what's crazy. My dad was awesome and coached us in baseball and all that stuff, and great Catholic people. But it was okay to drink. They just drank too much because they were hurting. There was things going on. There was brokenness in their own lives. And as a result of getting radically saved, God told me to start a Bible study about three to 6 months in my home. It's a long story, but to shorten it, I belonged to a full gospel men's home that was preaching the gospel, moving into signs and gifts. And so I learned a little bit from that, and God interrupted me and said, "You're going to do it now in your own home." And I said, "Really? That sounds great." I was just, see, when you first hear the Father's voice, there's no other voice you're interested in hearing.
That's right.
That you're actually looking to hear his voice if anybody's speaking, and no matter what they're saying, you're not interested unless it's his voice. I can care less how much education and how nice your things sound. I'm not impressed. I don't want it. Because a lot of it's not good. It's mixed with flesh, man. Carnal stuff and soulish stuff that we're impressed with. And I like men of God like Randy Broadhagen that I got to sit under while God was taking me through a fresh transition in 2007 that I talked about a little bit last night. Powerful man of God that was a Lutheran priest. And he just loved Jesus. He was like, I guess he was born loving Jesus. From a young boy, he just loved Jesus. He's one of those like saints of old that they talk about that now they tell the story, but it's kind of weird because we don't know how to put it out there, so it's got a 60s flavor and weird on it. But like the saint, the one guy's saint, I forgot his name, but he used to levitate while he was praying. And the guy, they didn't have words for it back then, but he had major autism. They thought he was weird. You know what I mean? Because he acted weird. He did weird things. You know, people move and they talk funny, and sometimes with the autism. And this guy had that, but he loved Jesus, the saint, not my pastor. And I'm telling this story to reflect on this because they kind of seem similar. And there's a story about this. It's documented in the Catholic Church. This guy would be alone praying before the cross and just probably speaking in tongues, and it looked weird to the other people, and they thought he was just the low guy. Let's just, we'll give him a job because he bothers us, but he's a janitor, but he can't really be a real priest. Man, he started levitating, floating towards the cross, and he didn't even know he was doing it. He was so enraptured in love. So I believe you can get so caught up in the love of Jesus that it'll cause you to float. It's called levitation. And it sickens me that the enemy has taken that from the church. And they can do it, but we can't.
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about tonight, but it sounded good. And my friend, pastor friend, he was a Lutheran priest. They wear the thing, and the garment, whatever. And then there came a point where he was so enraptured in the love of Jesus that the power of God started to come on him, and it blew his mind. He would just start waving at people like he always does. Hey, hi, brother so-and-so. And the person would start falling out like where you're sitting in the power of God from a wave that he's just saying hello on a normal day. And the power started to increase on his physical being so much that he started hiding his hands in his priestly garments because he didn't know what was happening. He didn't know about Benny Hinn doing the